Welcome to Spirit Music Meetups. Mike Burris here, out in one of my favorite parks. Nice cloudy day. We're having some fun out here in the park. Beautiful day. Hey, I was just going through my drum journal here, and this is really powerful. You want to keep a journal while you're doing your drumming because you'll get some amazing divine revelation. Because the Lord told me one time when I was in my practice room that He is the artiste. He learned music, He explored music, He created music, He reinvents music all the time, long before we were ever around. So I made a journal entry here that if you feel rushed, right, pushed to get through the exercises quickly, you know, that maybe you've been going through a drum book or your particular drum teacher has you going through some materials and you feel rushed to get through these exercises to meet some goal that you have or your teacher has for you. Be careful of this. If you feel this push, this urgency, this agitation to get through it, all right? Be careful about this. So you're really thinking about where you have to be next. You're so goal-oriented. This is a problem with me my whole life. Being so goal-oriented that you're missing what is going on right there in front of you. You know, they say that joy is in the journey. If you take the joy out of the word journey, you have what's called an urn, U-R-N-E. Well, that's almost the spelling of where they put your ashes if you're going to be cremated. So, I mean, that's how you're going to feel when you take the joy out of the journey. You're going to feel like an urn full of dried up ashes, and you're going to feel dead. And I've run in this myself many times. And you want to be careful about this. Yeah, you can say you earned it. You got a B. I think there's a B on the camera. Isn't that funny? He's looking at me. He can't figure this out. Where's this guy on the camera? So you're always planning for the future, but you're never living in the present moment. So you have to be mindful. Really have to be present, and that's something you have to kind of be aware of. Be alert that this is going to come up, and you don't want to just check off the exercise. So it's important to do drills. That's how you exercise and develop skill and coordination, right? But you just don't want to make it work. You know, I have a shirt. This is my drum shirt. I don't think you can read it from this far off, but Mike Burris, Spirit Music Meetups. I have a shirt that says, how do you get better? And on back it says, practice, practice, practice. But really it's play, play, play. Because practice is like work, and you're not going to work very long with that attitude. You want to just keep having fun. So be careful about that. There is a taskmaster. I don't know if you know what those are, but they're the master, the boss, who makes sure you're doing the work and that you're going to meet some deadline. And they used them in ancient times. They had whips, and they would whip the slaves to make more bricks out of mud. And this is how Israel was enslaved for 400 years, to make bricks for Egypt. So you got to be careful that you're not allowing that spirit, very, very likely the same ancestral demonic spirit that's been around all this time, that drives these evil people to do these evil things to other people, right? But that spirit can drive you. I was a workaholic. I took that into my drumming. I took that into a lot of things. So we have to be careful we're not listening to those voices that say push, push, push. To meet some quota, right? Meeting some quota from whoever's pushing us. So we got to be careful about that. We want to make sure that we're in the joy. Stay in the joy. Keep the joy in the journey. Always be conscious of joy, because that is a key characteristic flavor of the singular fruit of the Holy Spirit. The singular fruit of the Holy Spirit is unconditional love. So it's like a Chardonnay grape or a Zinfandel grape, but it has flavors. And that's described in Galatians 5:22 and 23. Paul was explaining the nature or essence or fruit of the Holy Spirit. Because a tree is known by its singular fruit, not 9 fruits, but 1 fruit. But it has different flavors, and the first flavor you get out of this unconditional love that is very close to the word grace, which is unconditional, unmerited, undeserved, unearned love from God, is this feeling. That's grace. Grace means the same thing. It just adds the word favor upon you because of this unconditional love. It's very similar meaning. When you feel this experience of unconditional love and grace, very similar, favor. Sorry for all the loud noise. We have big loud trucks like this and just love to make noise, don't they? They have to have their loud mufflers on to show everybody that they have the biggest truck on the block. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. That wasn't very loving, was it? So that characteristic flavor that you get of experiencing God's love, His grace, is joy. And then the next one is unbelievable peace, peace that passes understanding. So look for that in your drumming. We're going to illustrate this in a minute. So you want to stay in the groove. The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. The main thing is to keep in the zone, to stay in the zone, to stay in the groove, to stay in that love, joy groove when you're practicing. Because you know that saying, time flies when you're having fun. Well, that's exactly the feeling you're looking for. So you want to feel this gratefulness that you're in this zone, in this groove, because what you're feeling is grace. Gratefulness is the natural response to grace, the natural response to love, to joy, to peace. And these are all flavors of this fruit called love. So stay in the joy, stay in the presence, and this is where you're going to feel more of the power, because the last characteristic in that list, in Galatians 5:23, is self-mastery or self-control. Now it's describing the nature or essence of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit's in total control. Total control. And what you're trying to do is let go and let God, surrender to that. You know, not try to do that yourself, but to let go of your might and power. Zechariah 4:6, the new covenant is not about the old covenant, the old way of doing things, your own might and power. That is your own human resources and your external resources and your internal abilities. It's going beyond that. It's letting go of that and going for, by my Spirit, says the Lord. The Spirit has dynamite-like power, dunamis, where we get the word dynamite. So that's where you want to go. You want to tap into that power. Then you will achieve a real worthwhile goal. Now you can go on to the next exercise. So, you know, exercises don't mean anything. It's like a moving goalpost. They're just a way to help, help develop your skill, right? It's not an end in itself. So let's do an example of this. Let's say you have an exercise where you're supposed to do an inverted double stroke roll. So you're going, you're being told you got to go up, down, up, down. Now, how long are you going to do that? I do it in front of mirrors to keep myself motivated. I'm really coming all the way up. I keep adding variety. Variety is the spice of life, right, guys? So don't just get stuck. That's what keeps it more fun, right? Keep the joy in the journey. I probably have other videos. So look down below for the description, the ... more, and look for other videos on this and related subjects. So you were told, I got to work on an inverted double stroke roll. And you say that's your goal. And, I got all this pressure on me and I've got to do it to a metronome. Yeah, you can do all those things, but it doesn't mean anything if you've lost your joy. So I like to watch myself in a mirror. It's very much more joyful. And I can see if I am smiling or if I'm grimacing. So I might come up with different countings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, like a backbeat in rock and roll. So it sounds like dunku chak, 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Keep coming up with variety. Count it in 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and. Those are called the simple offbeats. Why don't you count it in the next subdivision of time down, 8th note triplets. 1 D da, 1 D da, 2 D da, 3. Oh, what are we doing there? 1 D da, 2 D da, 3 D da, 4 D da. Or you can count 1 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Come up with some variety. How about 16 notes? 1 E and those are called the double offbeats. 1 E and 2 E and E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and E and 4 E and. So keep coming up with ways to play it. How about 16th note triplets? 1 triplet and triplet, or 1 D and da. 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet, 3 triplet and triplet, 4 triplet and triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet. Oh, that was no triplets. 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet. Easier to see on paper, right? So you got to have fun, right? Keep the joy in the journey, or you'll end up with an urn full of ashes. Yeah, you earned it, but you're going to feel like you died while you earned it. And then they're going to bury you. I felt so frustrated playing the drums that I'd throw my sticks across the room, threw temper tantrums. Something went wrong. That's from the devil hates you. I mean, he's Satan. Satan is Lucifer. How do you want to call him? Diabolos, the devil, the slanderer, the accuser. He hates you. He's God's number one angel, created for his work, to worship God, but he turned against God. He's so full of his ego, and he just wants to take everybody down with him. He just wants to steal from you, make you suffer, and make you dead. John 10:10. But Jesus, the whole reason he came, Yeshua, how you want to say it, Greek and Hebrew, actually English and Hebrew. Anyway, he came to give us life, super abundant life, abounding, genuine life. Wow, everlasting. So you want to use it or lose it, right? That's the fun part. So how can I use this? Well, let's speed it up. It sounds like a shuffle. A 1, 2, 3, 4, a 1. A blues shuffle. A 3. See, that's an inverted double. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. A blues shuffle. It's an eighth note shuffle. It's an eighth note triplet with the middle of the triplet missing. How about a 16th note shuffle with the middle of each triplet missing? So that would be 1 D E. Well, how do we want to call it? One triplet and triplet. One trip. How are we going to do this? Oh, yeah. We're just taking the middle of the triplet out. 1 D and 2 D and 1 D and 1 D and 1 D and 1 D and 2 D and 3 D and. You use that in rhythm and blues. Funky rhythm and blues shuffles. 1 and B and B and 1 and So find ways to make it fun. Play along to some music. Ask the Lord, how can I make this fun? And see what comes up, right? See what comes to your mind. Be receptive. Ask and you shall receive. Continually ask and you'll continually receive, right? That's what he said. All those words are in the present participle in Greek, which means make it a habit. Seek until you find. Knock until the door is open. So I refer to that as ASK. A, ask. S, seek. K, knock. So this inverted double is used a lot in Latin music. It's using the Coscara pattern. So I'm going to fill in. Using my drum here. So that da gives you that whipping sound. Okay, so you can do variations of that, make up your own, but I find the inverted double to be very, very helpful, so keep inventing things. See, I'm just filling it in. See how I'm filling it in? So use it in what you already know, and that'll keep it fun. Well, I hope that gave you some ideas about keeping the joy, the J-O-Y, in the word journey. And remember, it's not about getting somewhere fast. It's a walk of faith. It's not a run. It's a walk of faith. Walking all about is the same word used for living. So you're living by walking all about. Romans chapter 1, verse 17, the walk of faith. All right, well, if you have any ideas, put them down below in the comment section. I sure appreciate your time. And get the word out. Spread the word. Spread the love. Get this video around to people. The website's full of 1,000 videos on drumming and music and so many other topics. So it's a community, so I just start the conversation and you guys continue it on. And now we learn from one another. We learn from one another. You know, Jesus said, love one another, right? Yeshua said, love one another. That's reciprocal. It's not a one-way thing. It's not me just talking to you. It's you talking back. It's a one another, back and forth, reciprocal exchange. That's what it's all about. So God bless you. Look forward to your comments. All right? Bye-bye. Also, all the videos and more details of this video are down in the .. more description below.